We begin with Abraham at 99 as the Lord appears to him. In the midst of ordinary life, God Almighty makes his divine presence known. He communicates with Abraham, not as an abstract deity, but as a personal God, intimately involved in the affairs of mankind. He introduces himself as El Shaddai, embodying power and sufficiency, a God who is more than enough. His instruction to Abraham is simple yet profound. Walk before me faithfully and be blameless. This isn't a call to perfection, but a charge to live a life of integrity and unwavering faith, a life focused on God. It's an invitation to a deeper relationship, a life guided by God's commandments and shaped by his love. This divine encounter is not just about the promise, but a transformative journey, a journey of faith, obedience, and covenant relationship. And that sets the stage for a transformative encounter between God and Abraham. Next, we witness God making a significant promise to Abraham. This promise is no ordinary vow. It's a divine covenant, a sacred agreement between God and man. God, in his infinite wisdom and generosity, assures Abraham that he will become the father of many nations. Yes, you heard it right, many nations. This is not just a symbolic or metaphorical statement. It's a literal prophecy, a promise that would shape the course of history and the destiny of countless generations. Now let's delve a bit deeper into this momentous promise. When God makes this covenant, he does something very interesting. He changes Abram's name to Abraham. You see, in biblical times, names held profound significance. They often reflected a person's character, destiny, or even divine purpose. So, by changing Abram's name to Abraham, which means father of many nations, God is signifying his future role. Imagine that for a moment. Here is Abraham, who until now had no children from his wife Sarah, and he is now being told that he would be the father of not just one, but many nations. It's a divine transformation, a prophetic declaration that echoes through the ages. It's a testament to the power of God to bring about change, to shift paradigms, and to redefine identities. This change of name is not just a change in label, it's a change in identity, in destiny, in purpose. It's a divine transformation that comes with a divine mandate. Abraham, a man of humble origins, is now entrusted with a grand destiny to be the father of many nations. He is no longer just Abram, he is Abraham, a pivotal figure in the narrative of faith. With this, Abraham's destiny and identity are divinely transformed. His life takes on a new direction, a new purpose. He is no longer just a man. He is the patriarch of many nations, the recipient of a divine promise, the bearer of a sacred covenant. His story becomes a testament to the transformative power of God's promises, a beacon of hope for future generations. It's a story that reminds us that with God, nothing is impossible, that his promises are sure, and that he is faithful to fulfill his covenant. Now God outlines the terms of the covenant with a specific command. In this significant moment, God introduces the act of circumcision as a crucial part of the covenant. He instructs that every male, starting with Abraham himself, should undergo circumcision. This directive is not limited to Abraham's biological descendants, but also extends to his entire household, including servants bought or born there. This act of circumcision is more than just a physical procedure. It is a symbolic gesture, a mark of the covenant between God and Abraham. Every cut is a commitment, a promise, a pledge to uphold the covenant. It serves as a physical reminder of the spiritual contract between God and Abraham's lineage, a sign of their special relationship with the Almighty. In essence, circumcision becomes an outward sign of an inward grace, a physical mark of a spiritual promise. God made a promise to Abraham, and this act of circumcision is a tangible sign of that promise. It is a constant reminder of the covenant, a symbol of the bond between God and his chosen people. But it's also important to remember that this was not a one-way commitment. Abraham, in agreeing to this, showed his dedication to God. His willingness to follow through with this command demonstrated his faith, obedience, and commitment to the covenant. Abraham didn't just passively receive the covenant, he actively participated in it. He made a commitment, marking a significant step in his faith journey. And so this act becomes a lasting sign of the covenant, a lineage-long reminder of God's promise. The act of circumcision, then, is not merely a physical act. It is an act of faith, a symbol of a promise, a mark of a covenant. It is a sign of a relationship with God, a relationship that is marked by faith, obedience, and commitment. And so, a commitment is made, marking a significant step in Abraham's faith journey. The story of circumcision as a sign of the covenant highlights the importance of faith, obedience, and commitment in our relationship with God. It serves as a reminder of the promises God makes to us and the commitments we are called to make in return. God's promises extend beyond Abraham, reaching his wife Sarah. The divine narrative takes a delightful twist as God declares that Sarah, now named Sarah, will bear a son. Can you imagine the scene? Abraham in his old age hears this and can't help but laugh. It seems utterly impossible, doesn't it? Yet, here we see the essence of divine promise. It transcends the boundaries of human understanding and capability. Abraham's laughter echoes the doubts we often harbor when facing seemingly insurmountable challenges. But God, in his infinite wisdom and power, reaffirms his promise. He insists that Sarah will indeed bear a son, and he shall be named Isaac. This moment serves as an invaluable lesson about trust. Even amidst laughter and doubt, God reassures his promise, teaching us about trust in his timing. God addresses Abraham's concern for his son Ishmael. Abraham's love for Ishmael is evident, and he pleads with God, asking for Ishmael to live under his blessing. God, in his infinite wisdom and mercy, hears Abraham's plea. He promises Abraham that Ishmael too will be blessed and will father a great nation. This is a moment of profound significance. Ishmael, though not the child of the covenant promise, is not forgotten or overlooked by God. There's a divine plan for him as well. God reassures Abraham that his blessing will reach Ishmael, and through him, a great nation will emerge. It's a testament to God's boundless compassion and love. However, God also makes it clear that his covenant will be established with Isaac, the son yet to be born to Sarah. Isaac is the child of promise, the one through whom God's covenant will continue. But this doesn't diminish the blessing bestowed upon Ishmael. This scene offers a potent reminder of God's inclusive blessings. His love and mercy extend beyond the boundaries of the covenant. He hears Abraham's pleas for Ishmael and responds with a promise of blessing. It's a powerful demonstration of his divine generosity and inclusivity. God's promise to bless Ishmael is also a lesson in trusting God's plan. Even when circumstances seem uncertain or when things don't go as we envision, God's plan is always at work. His blessings can manifest in ways we least expect, and his promise to bless Ishmael is a prime example of this. In his mercy, God's blessings extend to Ishmael, demonstrating his inclusivity. It's a reaffirmation of God's love and mercy, extending his blessings to all, even those outside the covenant. It's a beautiful reminder that in the grand scheme of God's plan, no one is forgotten or left behind. Now we arrive at a moment of decisive action. The act of circumcision, as commanded by God, is not merely a physical procedure for Abraham and his household. It is a profound act of obedience, a testament to Abraham's unwavering faith, and a tangible symbol of the covenant between God and his people. Abraham, now bearing his new name and carrying God's promise of a multitude of descendants, does not hesitate. He does not ponder or procrastinate. Instead, he acts. On that very day, Abraham circumcises himself, his son Ishmael, and all the males in his household, just as God commanded him. His swift action is a testament to his faith in God's promise and his commitment to uphold his part of the covenant. This act of circumcision serves as a reminder of the faithfulness required in our journey with God. It is a call to action, urging us to act promptly when God instructs us, to trust in his promises, and to uphold our part of the covenant with unwavering faith. Abraham's immediate obedience reflects his understanding of the significance of God's command and his willingness to fulfill it, regardless of personal discomfort or societal norms. Moreover, this act of obedience extends beyond Abraham and his immediate family. It includes all the males in his household, demonstrating that God's covenant isn't just for an individual or a single family, but for a community, a nation, and ultimately, for all of humanity. In this act, we see Abraham's leadership, his faith, and his obedience interwoven. He leads by example, showing his household the importance of obedience to God's commands. His faith is evident in his willingness to bear the physical mark of the covenant on his body and to ensure that every male in his household does the same. With this act of obedience, Abraham fulfills God's command, culminating this chapter of his faith journey. His story continues to inspire us, reminding us of the power of faith, the importance of obedience, and the transformative potential of God's promises.